right, man. An anonymous GM criticized Brad Holmes in the Detroit Lions draft. Basically cited that they felt like moving up for Arnold from 29 to 25 was too much of a reach. They said you just never one player away, and I'm just thinking like they act like they gave up 2 first or future first. They gave up a 3rd round pick that probably was the Hockenson 3rd round pick. So I mean, I don't really understand the criticism there. Or they could have got Kool-Aid McKisson, or they could have got Nate Wiggins. The issue with Nate Wiggins was he's too light in the ass. And think about Kool-Aid McKisson. He coming off a broken foot, and most people said he wasn't as good as Terrion Arnold. So they had the actual guy they was moving up for was Darius Robinson. When Terrion Arnold was there, it made a decision easier. They ended up getting both their 2 corners, and the anonymous executive, I guess, of another team was like, well, I like both the corners they got. Then what's the criticism? I just feel like they gave up. You feel like a 3rd round pick. Come on, man. Like, they gave up a 3rd round pick. And I think, didn't they move up to get Rackstraw, or they used another 3rd round to move up or whatever? So be it. Well, they gave up too much to get Manu from the Jets. They gave up a future 3rd round pick. Or they did too much to get the safety from Utah. Well, let's wait and see. Y'all had a lot of criticisms of Jahmyr Gibbs. Y'all had a lot of criticisms, me too, of drafting Sam Laporta. Y'all had a lot of criticisms, Jack Campbell. There was a lot of criticisms about what he did. And it seemed to be like they got a plan, unlike former, regimes. So I find it funny. Well, I like the players, but I just felt like they gave up too much. Like, dude, we didn't give up no first or no second. A 3rd round pick, could it be critical? I mean, yeah. I mean, you can get the compensatory picks eventually, even though that never swing our way. But, you could have just stayed and got this. Hey, this guy ain't that guy. He ain't the number 1 corner. We got the top 2 corners on the board. So you told us to wait and get Wiggins or wait and get McKisson. We got the number 1 and number 2 guys on our board at corner. Well, you just not just one player away. Well, we got 2 corners. So, of course, we're not two corners away. And now, a lot of the other draft is developmental. Manu, it look like he going to be a guard. Then you turn around and you get this Sonoy guy from Utah. Look like they want to use him as a running back. I mean, you got to remember, too. What's the other guy that was a really good runner for the Lions? Godwin and Ibuki. He was a safety. I think Anthony Lynn, seeing that he was a pretty good running the ball, he was a good running back too. He just couldn't hold on to the ball, couldn't stop fumbling. And maybe they see the same thing in the Vanecki kid or the kid from Utah. So you get a guy that can play safety, so he gonna give you something on special teams as far as blocking and tackling. He give you a returner. I mean, he can catch the ball out the backfield, so they see him as a weapon. They're not just looking at him as a running back. They're looking at him as a weapon. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He can obviously tackle. He can obviously cover. He can obviously run the football. So really, that seemed to be the big theme about the Lions is versatility. You start talking about Pascal, he can go inside, outside on the line. You start talking about Aiden Hudson, he can blow right, he can go inside, outside, right, left side. Let's talk about Jack Campbell, strong side, weak side, inside, and his only outside, inside. Barnes done played inside, outside. Talking about James Houston, he can stand up, he can rush the passer with his hand in the dirt. Just talk about the versatility they just got. Brian Branch, safety or nickel. Terrion Austin, nickel or outside corner. And it's Rackstraw. He probably going, from safety to star to nickel to outside corner. So you start talking about just the versatility. Kirby Joseph gonna be the free. What's the other guy's name? Melifano, inside or outside? I mean, inside corner, outside corner, safety. I mean, great blitzer. So you got a team full of, really the thing is versatility, man. Raymond, returner, receiver. Craig Reynolds, good blocker, good special teams player, returner. You know, now you add this kid who could be a good returner. You can St. Brown inside, outside. You know, Laporta, you can move him around, H-back, tight end, split them out, put them in the slot. So the theme is a lot of versatility, and versatility is how you build depth, having guys that can play more than one position. I think, you know, that's what they putting a premium on. Graham Glasgow play both guard positions, play center. Kenisa will play left, play right. So, like I said, I think that's the theme of the football team is, you know, what they lacked in depth coming here. And he's still building depth. How long? This is his third draft, so in his third season, you ain't going to replenish the depth of a team that's been stripped of all its talent, and then you had to get rid of a lot of bad apples and bad contracts. Trey Flowers, Jamie Collins. It was a lot of bum-ass people they had brought in. So it takes time. So how did they cover, you know, as much ground as with the lack of depth? Versatility. They found guys that can do more than one thing. I can play safety. I can play corner. I can play safety. I can play running back. I can catch. I can return kick. You know, Donovan Peoples-Jones, another guy, can return kicks and punts. Can, you know, play on the outside. So they found guys that could do more than one role. They had versatility. They found a bunch of Swiss Army knives. You know, they found guys that can do multiple things, and that's how they covered up the lack of depth. You know, and they drafted well. So, you know, an anonymous GM, you know, executive, I hate that. Put a name on it. There's just so much femininity amongst, you know, men. You know, if you don't think the Lions are going to be good this year, say it with your chest. You know, that make the sport a lot better. You know, I don't really think, and most of the time you hear somebody like this make these comments, it's somebody that's close. It's probably somebody in the conference, more than likely somebody in the division. About how many times we see, oh man, they had a great draft, and you turn around and the draft was ass. So I don't get into draft grades. It don't really make no sense. You know, 2-3 years down the line, then you see the type of impact the players got. The Lions got killed last year for their draft. Each one of them guys was a major contributor. You know, each one of those guys was a major contributor. So, you know, is every draft going to be glorious and be great? Absolutely not. But, you know, as a man, when you say something anonymous, I just feel like if you ain't man enough to say it to somebody's face or put a name on it, you shouldn't even say it. You shouldn't even say it for it to go off the record. If you're going to say something, say it off the record, and so it won't be published. It's a bunch of, you know, males around here with feminine energy, bro. That's what I don't like, to be honest. But hey, it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Hit the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.